Welcome to Breaking Wire. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The Taklamakan Desert, one of the world's largest shifting sand deserts, stretches across northwest China like a golden sea, its dunes constantly on the move, shaped by fierce winds and scorching sun. For thousands of years, this vast expanse has been a formidable force of nature, shaping the land and the lives of those who dwell nearby. Its very name is a warning: he who enters never returns. A phrase that echoes through history and legend, capturing the desert's deadly reputation. This isn't just a myth, it's a stark reflection of the desert's relentless advance, as shifting sands swallow everything in their path. Over the centuries, the Taklamakan has buried entire cities that once thrived along the Silk Road, erasing bustling markets, vibrant homes, and sacred temples beneath ever-deepening waves of sand. Farmers living on the desert's edge have fought a losing battle for generations, watching as once fertile land turned to wasteland, their livelihoods and communities threatened by the encroaching sands. The desert's reach extends far beyond its borders. Dust from the Taklamakan travels hundreds of miles, fueling sandstorms that choke cities like Beijing, turning skies yellow and disrupting daily life for millions of people. What began as a regional struggle soon became a national crisis, as news reports and satellite images revealed the growing threat of desertification across China. The question loomed large: how do you stop a moving sea of sand that threatens to consume everything in its path? Traditional methods, like building small barriers or planting scattered trees, proved no match for the sheer scale and power of the Taklamakan. China needed a solution as vast and ambitious as the desert itself, something that could turn the tide in this centuries-old struggle. The stakes were enormous, not just about saving farmland or clearing the air, but about reshaping the nation's ecological future and protecting millions of lives. The challenge was clear: fight back with innovation and determination, or watch the desert claim more of China's heartland, erasing history and hope alike. What followed would become one of the most ambitious environmental projects in human history, a battle to reclaim the land, restore balance, and secure a future for generations to come. In 1978, China launched a bold plan: the 3 North Shelter Belt Forest Program, known as the Great Green Wall. The idea was simple but massive: plant a living barrier of trees and vegetation to halt the desert's advance. Trees would anchor the soil, break the wind, and create a buffer between the desert and vulnerable farmland. Millions of workers, soldiers, students, villagers planted saplings across harsh, arid terrain. It was grueling work, but it sparked a new mindset: humans could reverse environmental damage. The project aimed to foster ecological responsibility and hope, not just for China, but for the world. Early plantings were an experiment. Could a green wall really hold back the sands? The answer would take decades to reveal, but the first seeds of change had been sown. China was betting its future on a forest. The scale of the Great Green Wall is almost unimaginable, an ambitious vision set to cover nearly 4 million square kilometers of land, which is about 42% of China's entire landmass. To put that in perspective, it's an area larger than the size of India, stretching across vast regions of northern China. This is the largest ecological engineering project ever attempted by humanity, a living monument made not of stone, but of millions upon millions of trees and plants, designed to reshape the very environment. Over the decades, tens of billions of trees have been painstakingly planted by hand and machine, transforming once barren landscapes into thriving green corridors. Forest coverage in these regions has soared, rising from just 10% in the 1940s to more than 25% today, a dramatic turnaround that's visible from space. In 2024, a continuous 2,000-mile greenbelt finally encircled the Taklamakan Desert, marking a milestone that was decades in the making and celebrated across the country. But this was far more than just a line of trees. It became a complex network of shelter belts, sand-fixing plants, and carefully selected species, with a forestation effort stretching across 13 provinces and adapting to a wide range of climates and landscapes. The project demanded cutting-edge scientific research, massive logistical coordination, and unwavering political will at every level of government. The result? The once unstoppable advance of the desert was finally contained, and the boundary between sand and forest became clear. The Great Green Wall stands as living proof of what's possible when a nation unites behind a common cause, with communities, scientists, and leaders working side by side. It's become a blueprint for large-scale environmental restoration, inspiring similar projects around the world. Yet, even with these achievements, the story of the Great Green Wall was far from over. New challenges and opportunities still lay ahead. A decade after the most intensive planting, the transformation is visible from space. Patches of green now break up the desert's yellow expanse. These aren't dense forests, but belts of hardy trees and shrubs anchoring the sand and halting its advance. Sandstorms have become less frequent and less severe, and cities like Beijing now enjoy clearer skies. Air quality has improved, a public health victory for millions. The new vegetation creates microclimates, lowering ground temperatures and conserving soil moisture. Wildlife is returning, and the ecosystem is slowly rebuilding. The project proves that desertification isn't destiny. Land once lost can be reclaimed. The greening of northern China is a powerful symbol of hope and resilience. 10 years of growth have turned a bold vision into reality. The landscape and the future has been rewritten. For farmers on the desert's edge, the change is personal and profound. In places like Gansu, older generations remember crops buried by sand. Now their children see fields protected by rows of trees. Li Wenguang, a lifelong resident, recalls dunes at his doorstep. Now, he walks through woods he helped plant. Sandstorms are fewer, soil holds more moisture, and crop yields have risen. The trees are more than a government project. They're partners in survival. New opportunities have emerged. Ecotourism, agroforestry, and diversified incomes. Local pride runs deep. Communities are active stewards, not passive recipients. The desert's retreat is a life-changing victory, fueling hope for generations to come. Success hasn't come without setbacks. Early efforts relied on monocultures, vast plantations of a single tree species, like poplars, which proved fragile and vulnerable to pests. The Asian longhorn beetle devastated these forests, exposing the dangers of low biodiversity. Many non-native trees also consume too much water, straining already scarce resources and causing groundwater levels to drop. High tree mortality and limited reduction in desert area forced a rethink. Critics argued that quantity alone wasn't enough. Ecological restoration required diversity and sustainability. The project's early missteps became hard-earned lessons for the future. The Great Green Wall adapted, embracing science and flexibility. Over time, the project evolved, learning from both setbacks and successes. Instead of sticking rigidly to old methods, teams on the ground listened to local knowledge and responded to changing conditions. The new approach, plant the right species in the right place, focusing on native, drought-tolerant trees, shrubs, and grasses. This strategy not only conserves water, but also ensures that the plants are well-suited to survive and thrive in harsh, arid environments. The goal shifted from just forests to restoring resilient desert ecosystems. By encouraging a mix of plant life, the project now supports greater biodiversity, soil health, and long-term sustainability for both people and wildlife. Innovation flourished. Solar farms now create shade, cool the ground, and support new plant growth beneath the panels. These creative solutions not only generate clean energy, but also help restore the land, showing how technology and nature can work hand in hand. Some areas cultivate medicinal plants, combining ecological restoration with economic benefit. Local communities are empowered to grow valuable crops, improving livelihoods while healing the land. Continuous monitoring and research guide every step, making the project a living laboratory for the world. Scientists and local experts work together, sharing data and adapting strategies as new challenges arise. The key lesson: work with nature, not against it. By respecting natural processes and adapting to the land's needs, restoration becomes more effective and lasting. China's Great Green Wall is now a case study in resilience, adaptation, and humility. It demonstrates the importance of learning from mistakes and being open to change. Its triumphs and failures offer vital lessons for global efforts to combat desertification and climate change. The world is watching, and many countries are drawing inspiration from these adaptive strategies. With persistence and a willingness to learn, even the harshest landscapes can be transformed. The journey continues, offering hope for a greener, more resilient tomorrow.